Hello everyone, my name is Rayduck, and this is the first video in my GCSE Computer Science Paper 2 Python tutorial series. In this video, I'm just going to start off with the basics of Python, how you install it, and just getting started with basic Python functions that you'll need all the way through your exams. So the first thing you want to do is download Python, and to do this you just want to just open up a web browser and just go to python.org/downloads. There will also be a link to this in the description, which you can just click, and then you simply just want to press download Python. Once you've downloaded the file, simply just double click it to run it. Once it's installed, you can simply press idle, and then you probably want the newest one, which is 3.12. And so yours might look slightly different to mine, but this is roughly what it'll look like. And also this is the editor you'll be using at school as well, so it'll match up. Now you can simply press file and then new file to open a new file. So first thing to talk about here is the two modes of Python. So we have live mode effectively, and in this is just Python by itself. And so if I type in a Python command like print, it will just run it immediately, and that includes, it can just do maths or whatever, and that just runs it immediately. This, however, you can write all of these lines and then it will run each line in turn. And you also have to save this file first. So you can click Control S or simply File Save to save the file, and just select somewhere you want to save it. I'll just save my desktop for now, and I'll just call it Learning Python, and it will automatically add the extension to yours. Then just press save, and now this is saved on your computer, and if you want to run it, you can either click run module, or you can just press F5, and you see it's run these codes. Now, what is this command I've written here anyway? Well, this is basically the simplest Python command. It's the most important, definitely. So this is the print command, and all this does is print whatever is between these quotes, these two double quotes, out into this console. Yeah, so when you run this file, it will run it in the live mode effectively. So it will just step through each line and just run that individually. And so you see it's run this, and because it sees this is in the quotes, it will just put that as text out here. So for anything to work, all you have to do is say print, which is the keyword, and it should go kind of purple. You see when it's just print, it's not, it goes a bit purplish. Open brackets, and then open quote, and then you can just say something like test, another double quote, and a close bracket, and you can see that's just added to the file. It says test. So another very important keyword, which will come up a lot, especially in your tests, is input. So effectively what this does is it asks for an input from the user. So you see if I click F5 to run it, there's a little space where I can type something in and then click enter. But it's not very useful you just being able to type it in anywhere if it doesn't go anywhere. So you can do this. If I wanted to save the user's input, I can just say test equals input. And so what this means is when I run it and type in something, that is now stored inside of test. And so this has the word hello stored inside of it. Just an empty bit of text where you can just type isn't very useful. So what you can do is this input command basically has its own print thing inside of it. So you see these brackets, like in the print, you can just say double quote and then add a little message in. So I can say hello, what is your name? And so now, when it does this input, it will print out what's in these quotes and then wait until the user inputs something. And then put what the user inputs into this test. Also in tests and like exams, you might see this where they have a print with something in it and then just an empty input. That works exactly the same. What you should know is once a print statement has finished, it will make a new line. So you can see on this line I'm typing on the same line as the text has been printed out, but now I'm typing on the next line along. So effectively, after this print statement, there's a secret little bit at the end that says and then do a new line. So now you have what the user inputted in test, you can then output that again. So if I do another print and say test without quotes, it will then know that this test is the same as the other test and take what's inside of test and output it again. So I say hello, what is your name? And I say Rayduck. It will tell me Rayduck back. And that is very useful. You can use what's inputted in many other ways. So that's effectively the basic few piece of code you'll need for Python. Very simple, not very complicated. Just a quick recap. Print with quotes just tells you what you type in here. It will just output that again. Input will take in what the user says and can also store what the user says by saying something equals input. And you can also output that again by saying print test, or wherever you've stored the input, without quotes. Additionally, you can add a useful message for the user inside of quotes in the input box. So I can say username, and then it will give that back to me. And that just about wraps up this video. I hope you found this useful. I will be making around like 10 or 12 more videos, each with just some more Python knowledge. I'll try to explain it as well as I can, because I know lots of people find this quite hard, and I would like to help people get better at Python. So thanks for watching. Leave a like if you found this useful. Feel free to subscribe if you want to get notified when my next videos comes out. And goodbye.